Welcome to My Mustang Garage.
On today's episode, I have YouTube star from the Mustang Restoration and Fabrication part of YouTube that was kind enough to drive to my home to help me motivate me after my injury. But first, here's a little history. I bought the 1967 Mustang Convertible in November 2018 in Ohio. We drove there and loaded it up on the trailer, drove it straight to the car dealership where I was a master transmission tech. We disassembled the rest of the car, which it had very little still there. I took out the rear end assembly and rear leaf springs. I took out the front suspension and steering completely out of the body shell. The car came with the engine but was already out and on a pallet. It had no transmission or drive shaft. Everything was put into a pile and very little of the original car was left. Then I took very careful measurements of the car's vital dimensions, frame rail dimensions, and important dimensions that were still there. But as you can see, most of it was very rusted. All of that happened in November of 2018. The car and the parts were put away, and then March of 2019, I moved halfway across the country for a new job position at a Ford dealership. Yes, I moved a Mustang in pieces in the back of a U-Haul. From 2019 until 2021, I collected parts and tools needed to restore the car. In February of 2021, I was severely injured at work and forced into early retirement due to my physical disabilities. Fast forward to 2024, I asked YouTube star a question on his weekly Coffee on Cars live stream, in which I watched frequently. After talking a while online and on text messages, somehow agreed to come to my home and help me kickstart my video adventure. Hey, who's that running away? It's none other than Barry from YouTube's Joe Daddy's Garage. And this is how we started. Take it away, Barry.
All right, so I'm helping James out a little bit, and what we're trying to do is get the jig set up on his floor. And we found that the taper of the floor is a little bit from the rear to the opening. Let's say it tapers slightly. And part of this process is we want to get it level, but we want to get it up on top of these jack stands because it's very difficult for him to get low or be underneath the vehicle. So we're going to raise this thing up and get it off the floor some. And to do that, we're going to use these jack stands, and we're also going to use this level tool back here. Now this is very handy to have. You can see, hopefully see if it's still on. It's not still on. Let me turn it back on for a second. It's reading at 0.3, which is a very small amount. So we have to adjust it just slightly, but we'll be able to do that and square up the jig so that we can start setting pieces in place. Also, if you look out here, you can see all the parts to the car laid out. So he has all the sheet metal set up on one side and all of the frame essential pieces on the other side. And they're in the general location of where you want them to be, so you can get an idea of what is involved with putting this car together. You can see all the pieces laid out, and this is going to look a lot different down the road when all of his parts are one big piece. So let's see what we can get done with this frame jig, and maybe we can start setting some pieces in place.
Barry started at measuring and cutting front of the rear frame rail support legs to its measurement, in which we customized that number to work for better access. The frame jig and measurements will be in the future videos in detail. He cut both sides, right and left, support legs. The rear of the rear frame rail support legs were already fabricated before Barry came to help. Now a little history about Ford. All new Mustangs were built on a jig from the measurements I just showed. In fact, you can see the support legs in the vintage photos of the Mustang assembly line. Now the rear of the rear frame rail has huge bushings pushed into the frame rail for the rear leaf spring shackles. We need them to center up the hole to mount the rear legs. Here is Barry cutting off the shoulders off the rubber bushings to install them flush. After Barry cut the front support legs and measured the exact measurements, he drilled a small hole in the center of the mark, and then Barry took a step drill and opened up the hole to accept the correct bolt size. Yes, the hole size is different on different models, 1/2 inch or 9/16. Choose correctly, but the center of the hole is still the same. Barry drilled both front supports to the correct hole diameter, then test fitted the actual bolt needed to secure the frame to the jig support legs. The rear trunk floor assembly was flipped upside down to install and test fit the rear frame rail position and rear shock crossmember fitment. Measurements were checked and double checked for square and diagonal measurements and side to side. It was then clamped and the frame rail and crossmember traced along its perimeter to indicate its location to the trunk floor assembly prior to welding. So today we're putting the rear trunk floor frame rail assemblies together in place on the trunk pan upside down. Basically building this upside down on the jig at the moment to get the frame rails in place in relation to the floor and being square with each other. Over here we have a cross brace we're putting in from this hole to this hole. In the book it calls for 37.62, which in real world terms is 37 5/8. And I cut that brace to that dimension. I'm going to be welding it on center here and on center there. And on the back side, we're also putting in a brace which is 43 inches on center of the frame rails. This will hold the frame rails in basically a structured box. Then we'll take the floor off the frame rails, flip it in position, and weld the jig and the frame rails with legs. Stay tuned, there's more. Then we flipped over the frame rail, added the leg supports, and tack welded the support legs to the jig base. After ensuring square and level the support legs and rear frame rails, we then fitted the trunk floor assembly over the frame rails to find shock crossmember, and clamped into place on location of the frame rail. Then removed the trunk pan assembly. Then Barry doubled and triple checked the measurements and welded the prepared plug weld holes to securely weld the shock crossmember into place. Thanks, Barry. You officially welded the first part to my Mustang. I'm very honored. I'd like to tell Barry from Joe Daddy's Garage, thank you for your help to kickstart my adventure into building my Mustang. Your positive and cheerful personality and determination is truly inspirational and to complete motivation. In the end screen of this video, there is a link to the video of his visit that Barry himself made and posted on his channel, Joe Daddy's Garage. Thank you for watching.